Okay, so I wanted to talk real quick about the I will call the financial streamline, the financial market, which includes everything from gold and silver, of course, is my favorite to stay with the intrinsic value, fiat currencies such as the dollar, what have you, basically every country's current currency. Um, and things such now as like cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Litecoin, and whatnot. Now, um, it's interesting to take a look at the history of all of these particular financial streamlines. Okay, whichever one it is, if it's trading salt, if it's trading gold, if it's trading whatever it is, it's a trade and barter system. Ultimately, is what it comes down to. You agreed to pay this amount for this thing that I have, or this service that I have. I'll agree to pay this amount for that thing or that service that you have. We come to a form of exchange. Now, let's say I don't have that service or that product on me right now, but I want that service or that product. So, in lieu, I'm going to give such as you would say an IOU. Essentially, that's exactly what it is. It's like an IOU. Um, but where we have this problem is, especially with fractional banking, is this ability to control somebody else's streamline, to be able to control somebody else's value system, to be able to dictate to somebody else how much they have to give to you rather than what you will agree to have. To me, I think is a subconscious aspect that is, not really given too much consideration to when it comes to, at least as far as when it comes down to the trading part of it, the exchange part of it. So the value is really in the exchange. So the value is you can basically make money, or you make whatever you're getting, whatever you're saying is the value. You're trading that in exchange for something else. So you're making that when you buy it, not when you sell it. Really, this is what you're doing: is you're buying it. You're trading your thing for that thing. So I think the concept of, am I buying this thing or am I selling this thing? Now, when you're using a dollar bill, the concept in your mind is automatic that I am buying this thing. I'm spending this dollar for this thing, for this service or this product. Okay? However, how did you get that dollar into your hand in the first place? That's the question. What was the value system of it when it was first put into your hand? If I put that dollar into my hand and the value was 1 hour worth of my labor as a plumber or an electrician or a mechanic or a haircutter or what have you, when I go to make this exchange and this trade for this pair of shoes or this block of cheese or this loaf of bread, is that value system still there in what I would consider the hour's worth of my labor, or 2 hours worth of my labor, or 3 ounces worth of my product that I make myself, whatever it is? Okay, so this concept here is the key to understand this streamlined system, and the fluctuation of it is easily hacked by the government, other, not just government, people, your friends, whatever. People hack it when they devalue or when they dictate to you what your streamline is, how much it is, what it's worth to you. Let's say I can grow 300 pounds of pot in 2 months, for example. Okay, to me, maybe it only costs me, say, 6 hours a day. We'll call that my labor. Maybe say 8 hours a day worth of my labor. Okay, we'll just say, and even 40 hours a week worth of my labor to tend to these flowers, orange trees, whatever have you. Okay, if I can grow this amount of much in this amount of time, to me, I can go and I can trade that for whatever I want. I made it. So I could either trade it for 1 shoe, 2 shoes, 10 shoes, no shoes, a bean, a gigantic boat, whatever I choose to trade it for to me. Now, maybe somebody makes boats and they love boats and they build gigantic boats all the time. To them, it's nothing to build a boat. And they want to trade me, for 1 orange. They'll trade me a gigantic boat for one orange. Great. So what? That's up to us to be able to do that. But we don't. We don't do that. Why don't we do that? Well, we don't do that because what we do is we give our power, we give that value into this other thing over here, that cryptocurrency, that fiat currency, whatever that is. Now, we can all agree to have a standard, right? Like a gold standard. We can agree to have a standard of something. Okay? So this, again, comes into taking trust into another person. Okay? Cryptocurrency is pretty good at being able to say, hey, I don't trust you. That's why I got to check all this work. But it's getting ridiculous. I mean, imagine in 10 years, you know, what the computing requirements are going to be for all of this cryptocurrency that's out there. That's for example, when it comes to cryptocurrency. And as far as fiat currency, of course, now we know that this inflation, deflation, the Fed setting rates, I don't want to get into the whole fact of how we got into this fiat currency when we actually had, as a nation, our sovereign right to make our own, and it was backed by intrinsic value, silver and gold, silver certificates. We actually had that. We had a system like that. Then we decided to go ahead and agree to this bankruptcy and let these foreign agencies dictate to us what our value lines, what our streamlines is, what they're supposed to be, and what they're worth, right? So now we have the Federal Reserve, which is not even a government agency. So get that also, this form of thinking, it's a mindset. It's a mindset, okay? The Federal Reserve is not part of our government. It's not federal at all. It's part of a federation maybe, but it's not federal to our government. It's not part of our government. It's a foreign corporate entity. Okay, so remember this, all right? And they dictate and make up their own stuff. They make up their own business. They do what they dictate. They do what they want to do. Okay, so fine, whatever, let them. But I have the right to do whatever I want to do with my own personal products, goods or services, right? Correct? Let's say I want to sell my hair. I grew it myself. Who's going to tell me how much it's worth or it's not worth? What if I want to sell it for a Lamborghini? What if I want to sell it for an alpaca? What if I want to sell it for a busted out pair of shoes with a hole in it missing one shoelace? I can do that because it's my choice. I grew it myself. It's my hair. Now, what if I allow some company, corporate agency, or government to tell me how much my hair is allowed to be grown at one particular time, and if I grow more than that, then they get a certain percentage or whatever. See, now this is kind of ridiculous, but essentially that's what we're agreeing to doing. You know, our personal fruits, our labors, our efforts, our blood, sweat, tears, time, money, energy, efforts, whatever you want to call it, okay, heart, soul, all of that is what we put our value into and what we agreed to trade it for whatever you're trading it for. You know, maybe you're selling out for a CD album. Maybe you're selling out for whatever. Who cares? Whatever. That's your business, and you can do what you want to do, and you're allowed to do it. Congratulations for you for finding your happiness. I'm happy for you. I wish there's more happy people in this world. Unfortunately, there's not. So we have to deal with this. How do we deal with this? We offset it by being happy ourselves and choosing our value system to be happy on ourselves. I'm not going to be happy or upset because I have so many zeros or so little zeros in my bank account. It's not going to dictate to me. I know what I can do. I'm infinitely wealthy. I know that I can go out there and get any resource at any time for any situation that I need to deal with and not have to worry about it. I am not worried about it. I am truly wealthy. Infinite knowledge that I can access any resource at any time is what keeps me sane. It's what helps me sleep at night. And giving up on all of that, the cryptocurrencies and all of that, giving up on the fiat currencies, yeah, I still use them. They're fun to play around with, okay, to me, but I'm not putting my whole value system on it. I will put a value amount that I choose to put into that, that I will choose at a time and a place that I choose to do it, but it's not going to be all eggs in one basket type thing. I will still and continue to suggest silver and gold as your platforms of stabilizing and hedging your future and assuring that you will have some kind of an intrinsic value platform to trade upon that is test, tried, and proven throughout the human history books of finances, of currency, of money, of barter, trading, of goods and services, of economies, and of global socioeconomic situations. Now, you can choose any platform that you want to. Let's say all 2016, I'm going to decide to write out and I'm going to do, nothing but living on the dollar. Then I'm going to try the next year, I'm going to do nothing but living on cryptocurrencies. Then next year, I'm going to try doing nothing but trading in precious metals. Maybe somebody should try to do that. I encourage you to. Somebody go and do a study like that. I think that'd be very, very interesting. And, decide what you want to do. Maybe you mix it up. I'm not advocating any one particular source. I'm not advocating no sources at all. I'm really just speaking specifically on taking the mental status, taking a look at it from a conscious level rather than from just the constant drab talk about what it is and will it be worth it, will it not be worth it, is it a good investment, is it not a good investment. I think that it could be any of those things at any time, depending on how you look at it. Okay, it's amazing when you change the way that you look at something, how everything else around it also begins to look differently as well. Perspective. So, am I going to be the guy that goes out and spends $10,000 in 10,000 Bitcoins on a slice of pizza? No. Am I going to guy that's going to go out and spend 10,000 Zimbabwe bucks on a slice of pizza? Yeah, that's about 2 cents. I'll take that deal. Yeah. Perspective. Okay. So, take that into consideration. Keep it mental up there. Don't let either side of you saying, it's all good or it's all bad, take the lead. You got to keep it level and even at all times. Situational awareness, know when it's a good time to get in, when it's a good time to get out, and dictate your own value system. Don't let anybody else dictate your value system. Don't think anybody else's value system is right for you. Test them all out yourself. Test it, tried and true. How do you know? You could live your entire lives believing this one thing, doing this one thing, and then one day you try this one thing. You're like, man, if I'd have known this all the way back then, thinking about how much things would be different, So, keep that in mind. And I'm trying to stay under 15 minutes this time. I'm actually clocking myself, so, but I'll be doing some more videos later. I just want to throw this out here because I've had a couple of my clients lately have been talking to me about their setting up their administrative processes using cryptocurrencies as part of their processes. And so this is an interesting topic I'm actually studying a lot on right now and looking more into right now myself, is these cryptocurrencies. One thing remains the same though. It is a currency, and that's pretty much what it is. And I believe it can be hacked and subverted just like any other currency that is of non-intrinsic value. However, I do see the great potentials of it, and I do see how it's a much better option, as a cryptocurrency is a much better option than most other countries' own current currencies, current systems of fiat. So, the structure is genius. It's like, why didn't I think of that, man? Come on, it's kind of simple, but at the same time, it can be very convoluted if you don't have some sort of technical skills or abilities there. However, everything can be understood fairly simply. There's a lot of information out there about it, and maybe that's probably part of the problem. Is there's so much information out there about it, it's hard to sift through it, find get to what's most direct about the value systems. But I hope this helped out a little bit, at least to get you on the right road and thinking it right up here, for the value more than thinking, with your wallet, and thinking, based on how everyone else thinks. I'm really trying to encourage take your personal motivation, dig out thine own salvation, stay true, straight, and narrow on your path, seek truth, find the enlightenment. Don't let it find you in the dark. All right, take it easy, and I'll have some more videos for you shortly.